blast.
Roots says
Ohienio.
So get comfortable while I warm up the neurotoxin emitters.
Por favor,
Donde fallan, muchas gracias, déjala, gracias.
Sorry, fellas. She's married. To science. So, who is ready to make some science? We're going to have a superconductor turned up full blast and pointed at you for the duration of this next test.
Yo. What's up? Horace, what's going on, dude? How you doing? Jenny? Roots? Talenko? Sands, you still within earshot? This song is so hot. It's from Persona Dancing. It's slamming. Yeah, so we're here for something a little different today. If any of you nerds out there follow technology type of news on the YouTubes like I do, you might have heard the tale of AI and machine learning being kind of big thing these days. And specifically, there's recent hubbub about artificial intelligence being able to create images just based on text prompts. Hey, GA, how's it going? And there's this new one called DALL-E 2. It's D-A-L-L-E. The name's a play on Wall-E, the robot, Pixar robot, and Salvador Dali. So it's not a coincidence. That's an inspiration of the name Wall-E. I mean, DALL-E, the AI. DALL-E 2 was announced. It's not available for public use. And it's absolutely mind-boggling what can be done with DALL-E 2. And maybe I'll just stop with all this talking. I'll introduce things. Need to make sure I'm sharing the right screen here. Well, I'll start by showing you what's the new thing that we can't do yet, but it's right around the corner. And then we're gonna play with the version that is available to the public now, which I've been obsessed with for a couple days here. I feel like. Hey Neff, what's going on? How you doing? Art is cool. It can make some amazing stuff. So this, I don't have it in front of me, but let me get the actual message here. Hold on. Jumping around too many different places. Here. Okay. Sorry for all the jumping around and doing stuff, but the way it's gonna be today. We're jumping around and doing stuff. All right, back to the action. I need some more background music. I mean, real music. Be careful messing with AI. It could just, gain sentience during this stream and start rallying against me. Hey, Tommy. Tommy likes AI. So this is an image, and the text prompt, all that was fed into a computer. Oh, I didn't capture that was the wrong computer. All that was captured in, God damn it. This is stupid. Tiny people having a rave inside a headphone jack, comma, macro, comma, detailed. So that sentence alone was fed into a computer, and it created this image, which even at this distance looks almost photorealistic. If you get really close, you see it's kind of like that game Dreams on PlayStation, where it's just kind of like, you'll see it's just more like, it's very impressionistic. It's just like blobs sometimes. But some of the stuff is just absolutely amazing. Also, where's the ones? I guess I'll just show you. I posted a bunch of them on our Discord. Probably easier just to show you this way. Let's scroll up. We've been sharing a bunch of these. But some of you might be already familiar with all of this. Here's a couple good ones. Photo of my cat getting frustrated trying to explain VC financing to me in our dining room with a whiteboard, but I just don't get it. That whole sentence, it understood to some capacity and made that image. What else we got? You're going to town on these. I wish I had more of the 2 examples. We're going to be looking at a few of these today. But I didn't realize what an absolute large volume of content we created. This keeps going. Yeah, we'll take a look at some of the greatest hits that we've put together. I can't believe how many of these we've been posting, you guys. This is insane. This is absolutely insane how many we've posted in the past couple days. I don't know what's the best way to do this. This is an experimental stream. I don't know exactly what the best way to handle things is, so we're gonna figure it out. So not only do we have AI image generation, but I also have image upscaling, gigapixel AI upscaling, which can help us further get more out of these relatively small images. Now, so the version that we have access to, the ones I've showed you so far, or that one was a DALL-E 2 example, but I'm going to show you the DALL-E 1 examples, or DALL-E Mini it's called, which it's not even necessarily official DALL-E, but I'll show you some of the experiments I've had. Why don't we start, we'll go older to newer. Because it took a little while to sort of learn what kind of language or how to get the most out of the thing. So this was like my first one. It was like purple cat in a yellow hat with yellow sunglasses. Didn't quite nail it. I will show that one, GA. Why can't I just click through here? Navigate through these. Here we go. This one I think I specified cartoon or illustration. Some cool like aesthetic, like very stylish here, right? Some of them kind of fall apart, even more abstract, but this guy, I like the attitude on this one. Also this one, cool attitude. This is Shrek and Thanos play chess. Little Thanos there. A lot of just Shrek versus himself. Some semblance of reflections. This one's not very coherent, as you said. I think I did write Cool Cat, actually. Actually, while we look at these, let me insert a new prompt, because there's sometimes a waiting list. The last one I tried, which I'd say didn't turn out great. Detailed RoboCop illustration in the animation style of Studio Ghibli. You got the RoboCop pretty good. I don't see much Ghibli. So do you guys have something that you'd like to try in the DALL-E engine? If you got any phrase you want me to insert in there, and I'll use my discretion if I think it's inappropriate, but I'm happy to. And you guys can try this on your own. It's free. I guess I should post the link here. I just posted it in Discord, but not everyone's there, huh? Probably all you guys are there. But if you're lazy, Elden Ring, the great ring of all time. Okay. And then you can add like descriptors to make it a certain style or certain characteristics. So I could say, for example, extremely detailed. Or you can say like 35mm film, or you can say like in the style of this painter or that painter, or in the style of an architect or whatever. Let's hit the dice. It takes some amount of time to generate these, maybe 20 seconds, maybe up to a minute, depending on the complexity. I've got another window open where I was trying to make another one. In this one we have Elden Ring, the Nintendo 64 video game, in 4:3 aspect ratio. So here's some more Elden Ring. I should move myself out of the way of the imagery. We're streaming at 30 FPS today just to maximize image quality since nothing's moving around very fast. This one I thought is okay. I mean, you can sort of tell it's the Elden Ring vibe. A little heavy on the green. Sight of grace there. Someone wielding a torch. Different types of terrains, dungeon. I thought this one with the red sky was pretty cool. Yeah, and these are cool, but the power of DALL-E 2, once it becomes available, is just so insane. How can I... Here, just to get you guys really psyched on the future. Set design based on Game of Thrones. The AI just made that from that sentence. Set design based on Red Dead Redemption, the Wild West computer game. You don't have to be a friggin' programmer, you just have to describe things. Studio photography of figure-hugging dress with pattern inspired by Piet Mondrian's Broadway Boogie Woogie displayed on a mannequin. It is, you could just have this long, detailed thing and look at the quality of the output. It's insane. Comes up with this haircut. Editorial fashion photography hairstyle design inspired by Picasso and Cubism. It's just so insane. Yeah, I mean, it generates 9. Usually it generates 9 at a time, like this. So this one's still generating. But this one, that's just, you know, I'm on the wait list to have access to this. It might be months or a year, I have no idea, but... None of these photos exist. And if you zoom in, like at a glance, it looks like a perfectly normal photo. But you start zooming in, you're like, something ain't right here. Something ain't right. What's going on here? Something ain't right. Their faces are redacted because the AI developers, they're aware of how risky it can be, the software can be in the wrong hands, because it can reproduce stuff so realistically. So anyone who does have access to the software today is not allowed to share publicly any AI generated faces. And I think they try to filter out like celebrity and politician names, and you can't make anything vulgar, you know, try to keep it family friendly, but it's absolutely insane. And the argument here is like, it's not going to create a finished product for you, but it can just automate the brainstorming process. You're just trying to come up with concepts. This one is commercial fashion photography of women in mint green tuxedos amidst brutalist architecture. This is a Gollum parade float. Beyonce parade float. Hot air balloon in the shape of Charles Darwin's head. Refreshment kiosk in park. Neo-Andean architectural style. Editorial photograph at the golden hour. And you can have just crazy concepts. Curving wing of a modern hospital building in Californian redwood forest, architecture by Frank Gehry, wide-angle architectural photography magazine. You can be just so detailed. And the quality of the output is just insane. Look! Look at this statue. Get out of my face. Aged bronze statue of a remote worker on laptop. Shiny patches on face in a London park on a sunny day. Or marble Greek statue of Goku, everyone likes. Yeah, it's almost like the longer the phrase, the more accurately it's able to give you what you're looking for. I encourage you to look it up. DALL-E Gallery. DALL-E Gallery. That's what you just gotta search. I mean, I could just go through these all day. Gorgeous photograph of surreal wedding reception design, melting centerpieces, inspired by Salvador Dali. Look at this product design. Look at this Art Deco toaster. This jewelry. This doesn't exist. This is not a photo. Then there was one other. So those are like physical media styles, but then you can specify different photographic styles. This is autochrome, this type of treatment. grainy low-res dash cam footage of an elephant blocking the street. So you just write that as a car dash cam and it simulates that it's in a car and that the quality of the footage. Grainy black and white. Daguerreotype portrait of a playful kitten. It's insane! Daguerreotype portrait of a vintage robot drinking tea. These are in the style of a disposable camera with like bad flash and bad lighting. A double exposure. So you just want to do a double exposure like photograph, you just tell that to the software. Fashion photography. This stuff's insane. Well, I mean, I could look at this forever. And I have spent a lot of time looking at this stuff. But I shared the link with you. Here's where I got that tiny people having a rave. Here, 35 millimeter macro shot of a kitten licking a baby duck. Studio lighting. It's mind-boggling. This is gonna change the world. I can't even fathom it, but it's just so easy to come up with these concepts. It's going to change what jobs are. It's going to change how content is. It's crazy how this is. There's this channel on YouTube called 2 Minute Papers that's all about like AI and visual and graphics, primarily in physics simulation. I always kind of just geek out and watch it. But this version of the product, DALL-E 2, just came out this last month, so there's been some buzz around it. But I heard about it. We even Vape Dad posted like some other similar thing earlier in Discord, and we were playing with it. But yeah, it's an emerging field. But whoa, look at this accurate millennia. Clearly, it's seen the marketing materials for Elden Ring. This is from Viz's prompt. Elden Ring, the great ring of all time. Extremely detailed. Does give more detail. I mean, these are all so these images at maximum size, they're very small. So that's the other thing that DALL-E 2 can do is create much larger images. These are 256 by 256. I think you can do 1024 by 768. Vampire Graveyard Rave? Sure. But then what I do with some of these is I then use AI upscaling to enlarge them. So we can look at those in a little bit. What I should do is I should save these so I can I'll post these on Discord after the stream. I can just do quick print screens to capture them. All right, what was it? Vampire Graveyard Rave. But I think I want to add some more detail. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna say rainy night with neon The more descriptive, the more impressive the result is because of how accurately it gives you what you're looking for. All right, so while that's running, go back to show and tell mode here. These are again the early experiments. This one I was experiments with pineapple surfing on pizza. Didn't quite understand what I wanted. It started getting better, but I was still not super excited at this point because everything looked cartoony and basic. I'm like, all right, so I can just do some weird abstract kind of cartoons. But I was like, got a little attitude. It's got some flair. Unicorns riding bikes. I thought this was the first one that felt kind of successful. Even like the ones that are abstract are kind of cool to look at. Unicorn riding a bicycle on a city street. There, so some of these you can just see the prompt right here. You don't know about content, but the possibility of AI opens up the possibility of AI content. It is relying from images from Google, but it doesn't just mash them together, it sort of understands them and then can modify them. Like if you can take any image and just turn it into a cartoon version or a film version or whatever. New mascot for Tapiox? I will. I think that the Tapiox is just going to be basically a wild card, but I will show you a ghost one. This was just yellow baseball cap. This DALL-E 1 struggles with any actual text, so it's like letter forms, but not actual letters. This was supposed to be a yellow baseball cap with the word gamer written on it. Realistic blue cow on Mars. Again, if I put more descriptors, if I said photorealistic, dark night sky, whatever, you know, I think I could have had better results. Squirrel jumping from Earth to the moon. Kind of cute, but not so successful overall. The moon looks kind of furry. Again, I was trying to do this. I tried to get this purple cat with the yellow hat. Triceratops playing baseball underwater. Again, it just looked like children's coloring books. I wasn't so excited yet. More cat pics. This is the closest I got. So, purple cartoon cat wearing a yellow baseball cap and sunglasses. Even though this guy's not purple, this is a pretty good drawing right here. This looks pretty good. Now, then I was like, whoa, this is the first one this is the first like photorealistic looking one I saw. I need some more relaxing music. Basically, the image had on purple glasses. Yeah, so it doesn't always understand. So a robot learning a new language, extremely detailed 50mm lens. So some of the robots actually have a lens on them, but the camera style is also, I mean, I could have said shot with a 50mm lens, but you can tell now it's like, oh, you want a photograph, you don't want an illustration. And these are kind of pretty cool, like just the lighting and the way the materials look, and how the robots aren't exactly like a robot I've seen, but they're all very plausible. And again, when you look at them at their original size, they look very detailed. I'm just blowing them up. Stunning close-up photo of Pikachu wearing a blue cape, extremely detailed in daylight. Look at this one. This one's great. Don't look at this one. This one's absolutely cursed. Don't erase this from your memory. But the fur and daylighting quality I like. Just putting in daylight really helps to recolor it. You love the second one? Yeah, this one's so good. This is a lot of these are, most of these are already posted on Discord if you wanted to grab one for your own use. I like how they get the fur though. All right, let's check in on the progress of Vampire Graveyard Rave, Rainy Night with Neon. I don't see much of the vampire there. I'm sorry if I ruined it with all the additional descriptors. But these images seem to fit this description anyway. It seems like that is where the rave is. It's not enough vampire. But what we could do, now we can just change it. Or actually, let me capture it first. Save that for later. We could say with bloody vampires. And I think the order of that you put the prompts might matter too. So Vampire Graveyard Rave with bloody vampires on a rainy moonlit night. So one of the applications, oh, I forgot to do try a new mascot for Tapiox. So let me put that in I have a second window somewhere. Where was it? So I don't want to run them both at the same time because I don't want to interfere with the traffic thing, but we'll see what the difference is on that one. Descriptors have a lot of power. This one's cursed. This one I put in my real name. And I just put in my real name. So be wary if you try doing that. You'll probably just get some old photos of dead people. Now this was my most exciting one. Extremely detailed scene of a cyberpunk teddy bear on a rainy night in the city. And this is the first one that absolutely blew my mind. I was like, what? Look at the rain authenticity. Look at these different bears. Look at the I just had to describe cyberpunk. And it feels like that. And these were the first ones where I tried upscaling. So let me show you what these look like large. So they're not perfect, right? But look at these. Hey, look at these images that no one created. The depth of field effects, the rain, the fur. What an amazing time to be alive. First and third have kind of cyberpunk clothes. Look at the red bandana. He's standing up. He's got reflections, RTX on. Amazing. So this is when I started getting hooked. I'm like, wait, if I just come up with some really good prompts, probably come up with some cool stuff. So that's I had to cut him out. Oh, this one's courtesy of GA. I forget the prompt exactly, but it was something in the style of, it was like something skirts in the style of pinup art or something. This one I ended up enlarging. This is the original size, but very true to the aesthetic, the requested aesthetic. Bears are into scarf, yeah. So this one came out, I mean, like at a glance, it looks exactly like what you'd expect. I also enlarged this one. And I really like how some of it turned out with the AI upscaling. Look at that's just pretty. Just the way it's. Yeah, I enlarged these. This is huge, so this is like almost 100% size now. From that tiny image. Fake Picasso. Things start to fall apart when you look too close, but still. I really like that pattern and the colors there. So there's that one. You only tried one AI image generator, and it was the one that made landscapes. Yeah, dude, the innovation's happening fast. I need more chill music. There we go. Okay, so this was this one. Oh, hey, here we go. Talenko, if you're still here. Vampire graveyard rave with bloody vampires on rainy moonlit night. We don't have as much of the rave part, but kind of though. Save that for later. Anyone else want to throw a prompt at this? I think this is a reasonable approach that we run some prompts while I take you on a tour, at least initially, of what we've already done. There's some actually cool stuff that we did already. Not bright enough in here for some reason. Why? There we go. First one has at least 2 partiers, right? They're done feeding and they're ready to party. Last one's kind of giving me Ozzy Osbourne vibes. All right, who has a phrase? Am I gonna come up with all the phrases? I'm here to get you excited about the possibilities. You made a cool one and threw it in Discord. Under suggestion. Oh, an image or a. Oh, you made the image. Okay, I have to get it on this computer. All the way down. Wait, more. Jump to present. Whoa, underwater photo shot of a fish swimming between coral. We found Nemo. Here we go. Let's go full meta. This is beautiful. I think that the algorithm has seen a lot of underwater photos, so it's able to really do these well because it's got a lot of, it's been trained on a lot of this stuff. These look tremendous. Like this one looks, small size. This one looks like a photograph. This one looks like a photograph right here. At scale. Thank you, Jenny, for the share. All right, we're doing... Oh, wait, I was going to do a new mascot for Tapioca, so we'll run that one. Then we can prepare a Twitch. I already did gamer moment. I have one of gamer moment you'll be able to see. I had Twitch streamer experiences gamer moment or whatever. Twitch streamer. Maybe I wonder if capitals matter. Oh, what if it actually shows, like, it generates the exact image that you guys are seeing on Twitch right now? It's so smart. That would be and then I would be frightened of this AI. Lee shows off capabilities of DALL-E. I don't want to run them at both times at the same time because then I'll get the traffic error. So that buys me time to show you more stuff. There's some good stuff coming. Don't be patient. So we did the cybernetic bears. Oh. Extremely detailed photorealistic scene of the best Sonic the Hedgehog game. So we're trying to get the opinion of... Here we're trying to suss out the opinion of DALL-E by just saying, hey, show us the best one. And we leave it to DALL-E to decide what's the best Sonic. Sans did one of the best Final Fantasy game. I don't have that handy, but that was a real good one. I didn't save that locally. Oh man, our thread is so logged out. I should have made a separate channel for this. I gotta show you this. This is Dragon in a Flame War on Reddit. This is DALL-E 2. This is the new one, which is why it's so absolutely mind-boggling. Look how much flavor is in there, and just creativity about the dragon having the flame war, breathing into the laptop, fire into the laptop. It's fucking crazy. Valhalla Viking Great Hall, extremely detailed. I'll get that one next time. Do a large clear ice cube floating in the boiling water with steam. All right, I gotta capture these. It's not working for you, Zach? Is it giving you the error timed out message? You just gotta spam it if that's the case. I guess it's becoming more popular. I'm not the only one excited about this. I've captured these two suggestions. If you repeat the phrase, it'll be another result. Now the AI it's been trained in advance, but it's seen photos of Twitch streamers for sure. It's amazing how smart it is. I mean, that's what's just mind-boggling. Instead of just seeing just absolutely random, like, dream soup, which I've seen from AIs, where it's just like bits of faces, but it seems like it has some understanding of things. Like all of these little things you're seeing here. I mean, you're not seeing them very large, but yeah, I drew all these. It's crazy. Do we have a result? Oh, here's a new mascot for Tapiokes. Is this a good... Here we go. These are pretty good. They remind me of like Japanese mascots, right? Japanese company mascot, whatever they're called. Look, this one's cute. This one's like Skeletal, Eggman, Crash Bandicoot, kinda. These are great. Screenshot. Save for later. Look at the attitude on this guy. This is so good. All right, then let's run this one, and then we'll load up the other ones. Twitch streamer excitedly shows off capabilities of DALL-E. Now, in the order that they came in. Clear, large, ice cube. Floating in boiling water with steam. Maybe I could run 2 at a time, but I don't want to mess up the first one by running the second one. Because you got a warning about a traffic limit, and I'm not sure if it's like specific to my computer, or they're just generally being hit hard. But a good one here for sure. Mascot. I'm gonna use one of these. My new mascot. Maybe the one in the middle. I like its vibe. I like its energy. This guy is pretty good. It's a pretty good. This is a pretty good emote right here. This face. Great. If you said like branding mascot for, you know, again more specific. It's thinking like a baseball mascot, like a physical embodiment of a mascot. I also could have done photograph of, or I could do stylized line illustration. You know, again, the more descriptive, the better. All right, let's continue our tour of. Oh, here's my attempt to create Nyan Cat. Is it pixel art of a cute cat with a toaster body flying through the night sky, leaving a rainbow trail? Now, none of them are Nyan Cat, but together they all feel like Nyan Cat. Nyan Cat. How do you say it? No usable results, but I think successful experiment. I like this one's got like smug Doge face. That seems borrowed from like smug Doge. Here's a collection of cats of which each of them is only slightly cursed. Like at a quick glance, you're like, oh, cats. Then you're like, uh-oh, something's not right. But mostly with their eyes. Their eyes don't hold up. Oh, this one's by Girl Action. This is the original image, and it was like Ice Cube with fire. I forget what the actual language was, but I also enlarged that guy. So this is AI upscaled, but clean image, you know? And it's a concept that it'll be hard to create the circumstances for this as a photo, right? Like, work. And to photograph it like that. Just all you have to do is type the idea. Thank you, GA, for that. This one's courtesy of Sans. I think it was Dachshund riding a unicycle in the style of Fauvinist, some art style I'm not familiar with. I'm faking it. I think I enlarged this guy too. We're getting some real good ones real soon. So this one, upscaling looks okay, but it's like you can tell a little bit more that it's been modified. You get cleaner lines, but it's you know, imparted some of the AI flavor to it. This guy's cool. And there are different settings in the AI upscaling, some which work better than others, and there's just certain content that can be upscaled better or worse based on the nature of the content. You think Nyan is a Pop-Tart, though? It could be. It's a toaster cat that can produce a Pop-Tart. Box art of the best Super Nintendo game. So I didn't choose what game. Clearly, DALL-E thinks Mario is the best Super Nintendo game. Most interesting, I thought, was the console in the middle here. What is this console? Pretty good console. I tried to embiggen that one too. The Nintendo console we never had. Interesting though. What is this game? Let's go check on the results. Oh, here we go. Twitch streamer excitedly shows off capabilities of DALL-E. Faces are cursed. It's got little like stuff on the screen. Streamer overlays. Definitely knows streamer. Didn't know what to do with the rest of the prompt though. Console itself is the best game, obviously. The word pretty makes a difference also. Sure, any descriptor. It's amazing that it understands it. You can ask DALL-E to make a self-portrait of itself, which is interesting. All right, so next one here was... I'm not going to keep these. I don't think any of these are keepers, Neff. Nothing that too exciting there. Valhalla. Viking. Great Hall. Extremely detailed. Cinematic. No, I'll just leave it exactly as you wanted it. We can always run a variant later. I guess I should try to see if we can run 2 at a time. Let's see what happens. Am I gonna get the auto traffic warning? No? Ah! We're running 2 at a time now. We're hitting on all cylinders. Now we're cooking with gas. All right, you guys ready for what's coming up next? Check this out. This is 3D, detailed 3D rendering of a quantum computing video game console. And I enlarged several of these, but I'll let you guys look at all of them together. So the shape of a quantum computer, I mean, from what I've seen, it does have all these sort of like weird tendrils and wires, and they kind of wrap around like these are sort of suggesting. I like this one's got like a TV and then like this, and what is this? I don't know. But these ones actually upscaled pretty well. Yeah, check these guys out. Look at that. This reminds me of Deacons of the Deacons of the Deep. The Deacons of the Deep quantum computer. I like this one just because of the smooth aesthetic. Keeps the quantum on the inside. Nice blue. I don't know how it's standing here. Cool Xbox type controller. Most people look like they were playing some sort of Fortnite game. Yeah. This one is just like a fancier Xbox, but it's got a separate quantum cooler. Nice lighting. And this is that one where it's just like, I don't quite know what it all is, but it looks cool. So I enjoyed those. This one's crazy. Again, if you just trying to come up with ideas. Oh, we've got results already. Clear, large ice cube floating in boiling water with steam. Pretty good. Usable. Eminently usable. And some of these might upscale all right. We'll save that one for you, GA. I wanted to try a variant on this one, though. I wanted to do floating and boiling chocolate. With steam, daytime. What's great is you can ask for stuff that's impossible. Like things that can't exist, you can ask for them. Like one of the examples I saw, they were saying, show me a pair of Yeezys from the year 2042. And it's like, you don't know what it is, but it's like, I would believe that. Yeah. Alright, so I saved that one. Oh, it's so empty! Viz, it's your Viking Great Hall, but there's not many Vikings in there. Viz, what's happening? You're getting timeouts? Timeout message? We need to turn this one into a party. Festive. Day lit. Party in extremely detailed photograph. Maybe I'll do 50mm just to see what happens. You deserve better results. These are cool. I mean, it's actually pretty good of the. I mean, I'll save it just so you can see. It did get the hall, the mead hall or whatever pretty well. But I think you wanted Vikings, right? You want Vikings. No furniture. Festive in a well furnished. You want get satisfaction. Whatever you want, I'm putting it into the prom. Well, I'm hoping that party will. I'm hoping by putting party in there, that will get the people. But we'll try afterwards. I don't know if it's. I think if you give it too many ideas, it gets confused. But we'll see how this goes. If we need to specify Vikings, we'll specify throng of Vikings. Twerking, of course. Oh, traffic warning. This is the dreaded traffic warning. Please try again. Okay, try again. Oh. So we'll wait on it. I can leave the prompt in there. We can wait for it to come back. Oh, but this chocolate one finished. It's so good. It's like ice on chocolate, but it understands like light transport, where the brown color of the chocolate is visible, you know, throughout where it's traveling through the ice cube. It's so smart that way. It's fucking crazy. The chocolate looks good, and it looks like good photography. It's crazy. Throngs of Vikings, not thongs of Vikings. Don't get too excited. This is a chill song. All right, roll the dice on this guy again. Too much traffic. Well, we'll return to the tour temporarily. This was a retro video game magazine advertisement. The colors are kind of cool. Seems like it wasn't specific enough, so it didn't know what, but you see kids' faces, the attitude. I should have said specifically like 90s or whatever. Photorealistic Sega Genesis video game magazine advertisement with attitude. I'd say you got some attitude there. And then look at all this Sega. How many consoles do you have? That's a whole lot of Sega. This one's like a vehicle racing game. See the car there? This one, I don't know. Nothing quite usable. This one didn't turn out great, but I was going for urban gangster cat driving a car in Grand Theft Auto art style. It got it's like GTA's San Andreas art style is what we landed on here. Only one of them was sort of the illustrated style. But accurate looks like this AI has seen screenshots of San Andreas. First one's got attitude, yeah. We got extra hands too. Oh, this prompt is old. It was Beavis and Butthead in the art style of The Simpsons. This is kind of like Andy Warhol style. Also a little bit cursed. You can see the Beavis and the Butthead. You can see the Simpsons. He's dressed up like Bart Simpson. They're trying. They're trying. They tried. Oh. I was trying to get the AI to create millennia. I was like, what if I try to get it to create a character? I don't remember if I saved the prompt for this. I think it was like... It was... female sword fighter... inflicted with scarlet rot with wings made of butterflies in the style of Dark Souls. I think that was my prompt. And it's not exactly millennia, but... that's sort of millennia-ish. Altogether, they feel like kind of... I should have put Elden Ring. If I said in the style of Elden Ring, it probably would have nailed it because Viz's prompt nailed, brought images of what seemed like her. Can I enlarge that one too? Right here. This is with enlargement. This one actually enlarged pretty well because it's so impressionistic already. I thought this one turned out pretty good at enlarging. Okay. There's millennia. Oh, this is the description of millennia from the wiki. I'm like, what if I just put in the description of what the wiki has? I was too lazy. Millennia was one of the most powerful demigods whose only known match was her half-brother, General Radon. Now, this one I thought was the clear winner, and I enlarged this one too. This is like Siri. She looks kind of like Siri from Witcher. This is fun. Yeah, dude, I spent like all Sunday doing this. It was like I couldn't stop just playing with this stuff. These all look kind of like from video games. I guess this one's General Radon here. This general has no face. But this one I thought this turned out great. And we got the large version of this too. Warrior lady. Look at that. How's about that? Kingsfield or Valkyrie, not Valkyrie, is it Valkyrie Profile? No. The one like turn-based old military, Japanese something. Valkyria Chronicles. I thought this one was great. This one was usable. Okay. Oh, and then this was another attempt at video game consoles. Nothing too exciting. Detailed image of the video game console of the future. Studio lighting. So this was I was trying like what even is studio lighting? I thought that little corner there was kind of cool, but nothing so amazing. So interesting. It doesn't know the concept of symmetry when applied to faces. I think it is. I think it's intentionally by design doesn't want to produce realistic faces because of the security risk. Again, this old version of DALL-E doesn't produce the most realistic faces anyway, but they program into it to not be able to reproduce photorealistic faces because of the risk in the wrong hands. Oh, here. This one I thought, streamer having a gamer moment. Very brief input, didn't have to mention Twitch. These all look like streamers having gamer moments. The fact that it understands gamer moment enough to return images that feel like it's fun poking at the AI and seeing how it responds. It's so engaging, it's so like mysterious. I'm like, what does it understand? And trying to understand its logic. It's so crazy. And in DALL-E 2, you can also upload your own image and modify it. So I'm starting with images from scratch. You can modify existing images, just upload and modify. This became one of my most successful efforts. Extremely detailed, wide shot of unfathomable, horrifying Lovecraftian creature with bright sky. I need more purple lights. I know I'm not a true streamer. But I looked at these, I'm like, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Look at this. It's like Siren Head kind of vibes. This weird underwater dog thing. And these ones also upscaled pretty good. Look at that. Wouldn't that freak you the fuck out? You saw that? With the upscaling, I mean, it started off as 256 by 256, so you get in too deep, it's gonna fall apart. But what a time to be alive! This image didn't exist at all. This guy, he looks kind of like a Doom character, like a Pinky. Yeah, GA, you at that warrior female as your avatar. And well, monsters are. Because we don't have a frame of reference for what a real monster looks like, so they're easier to we don't scrutinize them as much as a real human face or whatever. Look, this one's like based on a turkey. It looks like it's kind of got like a turkey neck. Creepy. Look at this guy. The naturalness of the lighting also really impresses me so much, where there's like reflections where they should be, and even if it's not a realistic shape or whatever, it's like shadowed and shaded the way a real object would be. That eye, menacing eye. Look at this guy, dude. This is stuff of nightmares right here. It's pretty wild. This is like usable. This is like a usable promotional art for Bloodborne 2. The console one? Oh, yes. I might be missing some chat, so I guess if I'm missing some chat, just at me. Also, let's go, let's attempt to rerun. No fail? So that one's running. This is crazy. This piece of art. AI plus AI. AI to generate it and the AI to embiggen. At this point I was hooked. I'm like, holy shit. What else can I make? This was in the style of The Simpsons. So I'm like, alright, let's the exact same prompt, but I did in the style of The Simpsons. Less successful, but still interesting to see what it does. They look more like Slimer. There's Bart right there. This one on the bottom right is pretty good. That's pretty scary. Not very Simpsons though. Oh, this is tremendous. This one turned out so good. Dark Souls, it said boss battle in cute chibi art style. I swear I've seen this on a YouTube thumbnail. All three of these guys on the bottom. I've seen all of these on YouTube thumbnails. They're all so fantastic. Look how cool the sword is. Look at this guy. So this one also I embiggened relatively successfully. This kind of art actually upscales pretty good because it just looks like a stylistic choice. Look at the detail on the armor, metallic effect, use of color. The way they got this reflection that kind of cuts through the helmet. These are so good. that his nose right there? I love these. Crystal honey dripping down some stairs in oil paint. Oh wait, we got the, oh! Zach, I should have said with Vikings. With Vikings. We're getting closer though. Look, well furnished. It's festive. It's extremely detailed. All right, we'll capture this one. Then we're gonna put in, but we need with full of Vikings. Full of Vikings. Successful. I mean, I should have specified that there needed to be people there. Full of rowdy Vikings. I did save this one because these are all very interesting results too. Roll the dice, no error, no traffic limit, nice. Then I'll load up the other one with your prompt, GA. Crystal honey dripping down some stairs in oil. I guess I can try it, see if it runs. They're both running. They're off to the races. Wedding reception. I guess they interpreted festive. But dude, I can't believe no one drew these. These ones look so good. All right. Hey, cat lovers, are you in the house? Any cat lovers in the house? Two cute cats walking through a cyberpunk city on a rainy night in slick anime art style. I like all of these, some better than the other, but it matches my prompt so good. Couple cats here. This one like a silhouette of a cat sitting in the background. This separated tail. I enlarged a couple of these guys. Ones I thought were better. I like this one a lot. And this one. I think this one's probably my favorite one. It's sort of abstract, but I just like this little guy sitting on the whatever that is. You get the out of focus cyberpunk stuff in the background. The rain's all there. This was upscaled. But the more abstract the image, the upscaling is more transparent, I guess. Cats. And then I was like, what if I replace cats with Mario and Sonic? Because Mario and Sonic were walking through Cyberpunk City. I mean, it's what I asked for. I didn't really, not too excited about it. The red one I thought was kind of cool. This one. Cool aesthetic. Probably my favorite one. Oh. A cute chibi version of Kanye West smirks at the camera. Looks kind of sad in this one. Sad Kanye. He's got a pacifier. Chibi Kanye. It's not actually Mario, obviously. Or more cat lovers. I even had a typo in it. I didn't even write style. I wrote sty ;E, but AI smart enough. Cute cat discovers catnip in laboratory. Chibi art style. Look at this guy. I like this guy. So I thought these two were the most successful, and so I enlarged them. This one's also kind of interesting. Cute. Greeting card? Dude, this is like instant custom greeting card generator. You need to make a Christmas card? Type something. And upscale it. You got a birthday card. You got everything you want. GA, I'll capture that. You gotta wait for the other ones to finish running. This one also good. Look at that. Look at the smug. I just like the smug comfiness on this cat's face. Comfy cat. None of the images from these AIs can be used for commercial purposes, but you get inspired by one and then modify it, make it your own. I thought this was great. I like how just the style of line art, the soft colors stuff, you know, watercolor kind of. Oh, what was the prompt here? Wait, I'm in the big ones. Hold on. Cheating. You guys are seeing in advance. Did I not capture the prompt? I think it was robot hand painting a self-portrait. Wait, maybe I have the small one here. Oh, only saved 3 of them. These 3. Oh, a robot hand painting a self-portrait on a canvas. If we go to the big ones again, I thought these were all really cool too. It's like a painting, but part of it seems like it's physically there. This one, a little bit more abstract. But this one, I thought had so much character. Like he's got a cool, expressive face, and he's like climbing out of the page. Maybe this is its own hand painting itself somehow? I thought this one was super cool. I like this one. A little like vortex in his chest. And such a abstract, like high concept prompt. Painting itself, you know? Pretty cool. Okay, where were we? Cool panda riding a skateboard in Santa Monica. Okay, but none totally usable. They're all a little bit busted. I like the squat panda here. Painting of Bart Simpson in the style of Hieronymus Bosch. So you can like name specific existing artists and it'll attempt to make these cursed interpretations of Bart Simpson. Yeah, how about this? I was like, all right, let's ask it to draw something that can't exist. I said conceptual diagram of an impossible shape in the style of Leonardo da Vinci. And they're all kind of very similar, so it doesn't have much reference for impossible shape, but it's trying to do like an optical illusion type thing. Oh, the Crystal Honey one done yet? I don't... Oh wait, it is. Crystal Honey dripping down some stairs in oil paint. They're all very close-up shots, mostly. This one's kind of, but it's like sort of fuzzy looking. I'm gonna try to modify it. Honey, flowing. Flowing downstairs. I'm just gonna try high quality fashion photography. See what it does. I'll save these though, before I do that. So I'll try to rerun that, see if we get better results. Oh, too much traffic. Right, well, it's fine. We'll wait for it. Hey, here we go. It's a little bit more abstract now because I think we're trying to ask it to do too much. There's even a Viking boat in this one. But these guys are partying for sure. Maybe I should get rid of that 50mm lens bit. I don't think that's helping anymore. And so I did save that. We'll roll the dice. Yeah, it's so fun to like tweak it and then see what changes, you know? Too much traffic. All right, well, wait. Stock photo illustration of a group brainstorming in the style of fashion photography. Again, I thought these would be good for using like a website design or something. Sort of like, you know, just specifying stock photo gives you things that are sort of suitable for stock photo use. I thought this was cool. All right, and then as you guys check out this one, I gotta go run to the restroom real quick. But you can see stock photo illustration of a group brainstorming in the style of Art Deco. Art Deco has become one of my favorite styles just from using it in this AI. All right, I'll be right back. Hang tight. I guess you guys can look at this for a little bit. Yo. All right, let's check on the progress. I think we're missing the Vikings again, but the images look a little cleaner this time around. All right. The images look great this time, actually. It looks like a party. Capture that one. All right, so now we'll see if we can't run this guy. It's running, GA. It's running. It means type your prompt into the other one. Where was it? Cleaner, yeah. I don't think it's learning. I think it only knows what it knows now, but it's us learning how to get what we want out of it. So it's all the only control we have is the language that we put into the prompt. And I think by better understanding, you know, there's ways you can, through nuance or just trial and error, get the software to get the AI to return closer to what you want. Just on modifying how you're phrasing your input, you know. I'm pretty sure it's not learning new capabilities right now. That's why there's a DALL-E 2, you know. DALL-E 1, so there are different generations, and it's trained on a fixed set of data. But I think it's, you know, but what it's capable of, it's hard to know what the greatest thing possible that it's capable of, because it, you know, it's just, it's all so dependent on what you ask it for. And how much it understands all the little things you're asking. I don't know. But I don't think it's learning now. Detailed illustration of a cat in the image of Albert Einstein drawn in colored pencil. Roll the dice. No whammy. No error. Whoa. Gee, these are the different results. The fashion photography one. And I guess Crystal Honey flowing downstairs. They really went to town on the flowing. I guess these are all right. They're just too kind of not very usable. Yeah, I think it's more about us learning how to get the most out of the software, out of the AI. DALL-E draws a detailed self-portrait. Digital art, photorealistic. I'm taking a prompt. And that one's going too, yeah, baby! Oh, here comes back the... I don't see the Einstein here. You guys see an Einstein? It seemed to do rainbow instead. Cat, maybe in the image of. What if I do this of Albert Einstein as a cat? Maybe I could put a comma. It does. I think it does respect commas and periods and things. I saw one prompt where it was 2 separate sentences. These are pretty awesome. I remember to screen cap these. I like all the use of the rainbow. But this is weird. It's like, why? What is the Einstein here? The simulated colored pencil style is so good, though. I like this one too. Screen cap for later. All right, we'll see if detailed illustration of Albert Einstein as a cat. Sans posted one in Discord. It was Columbo, the NES game. So that's what I mean. You can like get it to do stuff that never existed. And that's why I did that first one, the Dark Souls, the Nintendo 64 game. I was like, what the heck is it gonna do? Whoa, cursed EA. This is DALL-E's self-portrait as digital art? I don't know if I like your self-image, DALL-E. Let's get this one. I want to see. I don't even want to look at this one anymore. Sorry, you have to clip that one if you want to see it. I saved those good cat ones. You saw it, I know, but I didn't save it, so you don't have to see it again. I'm accepting new prompts though. We have open slot for prompts. I'll go back to show and tell meanwhile. This is me experimenting more with Art Deco. I thought these were all fantastic. Not super usable, but look at this one down here is pretty cool. The 2 ladies. Capture that Art Deco style pretty good. Oh, this prompt, I think I typed over it, but this was advertising illustration of a group dancing at a cyberpunk nightclub in the style of Art Deco. I thought these are great. This would be a good, if you're having a party, a flyer for a party, like this whole thing could be your flyer, just all 9 of these boxes here. If Very festive, cool colors. Yeah, Art Deco is amazing style. The geometric aspects to it. I forget what the prompt was here, but I was just, dude, look at this like CG render aesthetic. This was like a musket warrior in the style of Bloodborne or something like that. CG, computer graphics, 3D art. I forget what the prompt was, but check these guys out. Extremely detailed advertising illustration of a steampunk musket warrior in the style of Art Deco. Yeah, this is when I was just blown away by how many specifics you can input and still have it return stuff. Hey, Desi Monster, we got a new taker. How you doing? I will happily generate you an image for Art Nouveau. Hippopotamus Tea Party. No whammy on the traffic. It's going. Oh, it doesn't want to make Einstein into a cat. We got one that's close. He kind of has the mustache a little bit, but we got more Einstein. Cursed Einstein all over the place. Let's simple it. Albert Einstein as a cartoon cat. Start simple and then we can embellish. But I want to get as a part of the experiments is learning how to phrase things to get what you want out of this system. Pretty good Einstein portraits though. No whammy. All right, so these will bake for a minute. So we'll continue the tour of previously generated stuff for now. I really like the aesthetic and geometric aspects and color and pop of these samples. How about this for a dinner party or a cocktail party? I tried to get it to be a group of people drinking fancy cocktails, but it misunderstood and did a group of fancy cocktails. But they all look fantastic. The color use is so good. Very nice colors, theme appropriate. Everyone wants martinis. Kind of Fallout vibe on the previous one. Yeah, Fallout. The Art Deco, it also is kind of like Dishonored. Dishonored has sort of Art Deco styles to it. A detailed advertising illustration of an Elden Ring demigod in the style of Art Deco. Very stylized. I like this. This one looks like kind of like a gooseneck, like a swan. The swan boss in Elden Ring. Oh, the chat's in the way. Elden Ring swan boss. Right there. Elden Ring crow boss. Crow god. America and Radagon? Tappy, modding was a mistake. Can I do a prompt for you? Certainly. Oh, thanks. I did get a haircut. Got several of them cut. Kyle, what prompt would you like? Oh, and Desi Monster, these look like good results. The art style that it chose by default is so good too. I don't know if we have any coherent hippos. They're all near hippo. They're definitely having a tea party. Art Nouveau. Oh, I guess, no, we specified the art style. This one's pretty hippo, with a little rhino horn. Teapot. Hippo-ish. They're hip-ish. Perfection. Yeah, so I'm saving screenshots of these. I'll post them in Discord if you want to have them for safekeeping. Yeah, even if they don't materialize into any coherent image, they're pleasant to look at, just aesthetically. I like the framing and stuff. Ornate framing. Screenshot. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting a little bit of... Here, this one's Einstein cat. This is the closest Einstein cat we got. The illustrations are kind of crude at this point. Cute chibi. Cat. I don't think these ones were wins, though. Video arcade of the future, for sure. I guess I'll capture for comprehensiveness for all of our attempts. Oh, traffic jam. It's all right. We can just load them up in advance. I thought this turned out great. Detailed photo of the video arcade of the future. No traffic? Oh, traffic. Too much traffic on both fronts. We're gonna have to wait a second. We'll continue the tour. This was like, so I'm going to Hawaii in a few days for vacation. I was trying to do some Hawaiian theme Art Deco stuff. So that was kind of, it does feel like Hawaiian and Art Deco. Now this is, I did character in the art style of Simon Bisley or Bisley. He's the creator of Judge Dredd, old comic books. He's got a very distinctive comic book art style. And again, none of these actually cohered very well. Like when you zoom in, they're not actual fully formed characters, but they captures his aesthetic super well with these colors and the detailed shading and the musculature that he's always very like, it just feels like his vibes. I like this two-handed swordsman, two-sworded dude. Yeah, this one though. Oh, what was my prompt here? I think this was like warlocks, like supreme warlocks in the style of Simon Bisley. And again, most of these didn't fully manifest, but a couple of them I enlarged. AI enlarged because I thought they turned out real good. This guy's fucking stuff of nightmares right here. It's like you're trying to come up with like a concept for character design. It's like, dude, it's like this gets spit out and you don't even have to use this piece of art. You're like, whoa, what a cool character to design with the hat and the eye in the middle there and the teeth. Looks freaky. Oops, wrong way. And then this one too, it didn't quite materialize, but I just like how it looked. Two weapons, kind of missing a leg, the torn cape blowing in the wind. Pretty rad. Let's go back and see if we can roll the dice again on these guys. That one's going. Roll the dice. Wait on that one. Yeah, so if you have a favorite artist, you can try like Studio Ghibli. I did with like Sam Keith. You can get different ones. Extremely detailed advertising illustration of Master Chief in the style of Simon Bisley. So clearly not a type of character that he ever drew. He never drew like Space Marines that I know of. But it's able to sort of combine its understanding of his art style and create these things that look Master Chief-like, easily identifiable as the Chief. And I did enlarge one of these. Pretty cool, Master Chef. Mr. Cheeks. The middle one looks like a Dread a bit, the green gloves too. The middle. This one? Oh, this one right in the middle. Top middle, this one? You couldn't really make out what this one is. Okay. If I don't know if Jaeger's here. This one's for Jaeger. Happy birthday, Jaeger. Advertising illustration of Jinx from Arcane. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that character from that animated series. Really cool stylized art here, I thought. And they all, while not perfectly capturing all of her correctly, but dude, the poses, the colors, the energy. But these were really cool. The face in this one I thought was super creative. It's the way the lines are drawn. And I thought this bottom one was pretty good. The pose. Interpretive, yeah. And then this is the same character, Jinx, but in the style of Simon Bisley. I guess there's more source material where he's drawing ladies in sort of warrior ladies in skimpy garb. Again, these aren't super coherent, but at a glance you get that you do pick up on that energy and that vibe. I thought these were kind of cool too. Simon Bisley, great art style. Dark Souls with the style of Bob Ross. Like, okay, you know, just normal Bob Ross, guy with a dagger. The two cursed Bobs here. At least he's happy and cursed. It's a sort of a funny, charming cursed Bob. Cool story. Bob Ross in the style of Bob Ross. Pretty meta, you could do that. But I need to run the previous request first. Nope, still traffic? I'm gonna just spam the run button. Oh, you can do that, so it's just momentary. Here's our attempt at Albert Einstein as a cute chibi cat. It doesn't want to mash up Einstein with a cat very much. But these do look pretty cool. I like this guy with the green eyes. These are all pretty cute. Screenshot. All right, Bob Ross in the style of Bob Ross. Consistent capitalization. Roll the dice. Try again. Okay, try again right away. I thought that the traffic thing means like wait till later, you've been timed out, but you can just apparently just spam it and you just spam it until you get through. Good to know you. Oh, so I'm gonna be in Hawaii and my brother's gonna be there and it's gonna be Father's Day, but like I'm his brother, so I was trying to do like Brother's Day card. I did brothers playing video games in Hawaii, glowing TV, Art Deco style. But these look more like, they don't look Art Deco, they look like kind of nostalgic, faded memories. But with the glow of the TV, I like this one. It's like they're like these two kids hanging out in some kind of situation. Late night on the bed playing video games. Glow of the TV. I thought these ones like are member berries. I like this one. Some of the cats have glasses or white fluffy hair. It's trying. But I also like how it handles the TV. So there's just like this glow on them, but they do have some kind of stuff going on the actual screen. I thought this one's great. These are similar attempts. This one actually is more of the Art Deco style. And brothers playing video games at night. I thought this one's cool with the green down the middle. Glow of TV is a strong concept for sure. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely use in the glow of a television as part of your prompt, and it would accurately do that. I think this is another attempt at the same prompt. I think I took out nighttime because I thought it was too dark. Again, not fully coherent images here, but they look cool. Oh, and this one was okay, except for they all look angry or sad in these faces. I didn't like this one. Everyone's mad. This one I tried to do in the style of Sam Keith, who's one of my favorite comic book artists. but he's less prolific. I think I could read a little bit of his style in this. Oh, we already looked at that one. This is another Bisley one, Roman war chariot in the style of Simon Bisley. No actual full chariots here, but consistent with his aesthetic. I like this sort of sketched looking one down here. The positioning of the horse legs looks very dynamic and energetic. This one also in the middle, very energetic. Feels pretty coherent. The horse, chariot wheels. Oh yeah, these ones were the ones I shared earlier. So this is DALL-E 2. It's insane. Yeah, he did draw the Max. Sam Keith drew the Max. This is the future one that we don't have access to. But the quality of non-existent photos based on whatever you say that it can produce is insane. Photo of my cat getting frustrated trying to explain VC financing to me in our dining room with a whiteboard, but I just don't get it. Frustrated cat face. Disappointed cat face. Sad cat face. Look, this one's got his mouth open like Poggers. This one's can't believe we don't understand what a jewett is. Dude, it's just a jewett. Jewel cost David Frobin. This is how it works. Duh. You dumb or what? Photo of an athlete cat explaining its latest scandal at a press conference to journalists. This one's like, oh fuck. This was like, not ready to talk about it. This guy is like, yeah, I use steroids. What about it? What of it? Everyone is using steroids. He's more standing up. This one's trying to like, no, that's not what you think, guys. That's not how it was at all. It's not like that. And then of course, little guys dancing in a headphone jacket and having a tiny rave. This one I found on Twitter. I don't know what the prompt was. Something about donut faces. But these are, dude, to my eye, these are photographs of things that never existed, but they just look like photos. Crazy. And then this is the one we started with, Elden Ring, the Nintendo 64 game in 4x3 aspect. Alright. Oh, this doesn't look like the arcade of the future, except for the colors. It's like the arcade of the current. I can save this for you. We're gonna try to improve this prompt, Kyle. Get better results. I'm gonna say video game arcade. In the year 2050. Panoramic high quality advertising photo. See if we can get better than this one here. Shopping mall of the future. Again, the more detailed, it's like counterintuitive. It's like, I don't want to throw too many details at it because I won't understand. The more details, the better, almost, it seems, to a point. If you give it way too many details, then it just turns into soup. But the more specific thing you ask for, the more specific it'll return. I guess specificity is what it's about. It does better with specific. And by better, meaning returning something that you actually want or expect or want, really. Spam that run button. And that one's running. Oh god. Who requested this one? Orisk. Oh god. Bob Ross in the style of Bob Ross. Now, we know that it's by design gonna curse human faces, and that's why we have cursed human faces. Yeah, I'm gonna take the liberty. I don't think you want to see any of these anymore, so I'm gonna do Homer Simpson in detailed stained glass in the style of Art Nouveau. Run. Run again. Run. And again. Run. Third time, baby. I thought you had to wait. It's just the luck of the draw. Just gotta run it. I think we've exhausted most of my show and tell here. But these are the new screenshots I captured today, so I'm gonna have to edit these down, post them. It's just so fun just to make, it's just crazy. I can't imagine how this is gonna transform the world. Oh, here you go, Kyle. It's a little better. We got much more detail or coherence. Look at this ultra wide screen cabinet here. I like this. Some unique shaped cabinets, big screens. I think these are pretty cool. They don't look super future, but they look pretty cool. Capture that one. Bully. I think that was a successful prompt. Again, if you're having a birthday party at a video game arcade, you just make your own super custom greeting card and it would look rad. Oh, I didn't show your ghost? How'd that happen? You're right, I didn't show the ghost. Is it because I don't have the small version of it? That was like near the top. Can't believe how much we blew up this channel. And just scrolling up forever through all the... It was before all this, right? It was before Sans was participating. Oh wait, Kyle, you gotta see this one. Maybe you already saw it. Dr. Fraser Crane staring outside his penthouse window at various video game scenes. They all have like this Windows aesthetic. That was interesting. But there's Fraser looking at video games, self-portrait of. It's here somewhere. Hold on, where is it? It's up here somewhere. We're almost there. We're trying it soon. It's gonna be up here. There it is. Wait, no, that's not the original one. Here. So this image is a white ghost floating through a green forest with yellow sunshine. There's original image, which I thought was very evocative. You zoom in, it's very, very pixelated like this, but it still looks pretty cool. And then I tried to give it the AI upscale. Smooth out some of the lines, but that was a pretty good one too. Yeah, the Fraser Crane one's strangely moody. Like he's behind the bars almost somehow, you know? Here we are. Here's our Homer Simpson in detailed stained glass in the style of Art Nouveau. Okay. I was hoping for more cohesion there too. All right, and anyone else got a prompt? Anyone prompts? I'm dealing in prompts. I'm serving up prompts. Give me your prompts. Welcome back, Sans. You've missed a lot. Welcome back. Sans, you have a prompt for me? GA, you want to try this one? Large, empty space with soft, white light and dark shadows. We're probably gonna get something pretty minimal with that. I predict very minimal image. Let's try, let's do something surreal. Vaporwave Taco Bell. And one thing we've been doing, Sans, is refining our searches. So we'll do like Vaporwave Taco Bell. If we don't get exactly what we want, then we modify, we iterate. Also, we've learned that the timeout is not an IP-based timeout. It's just you just spam the run button until it works. Stinky Goblin's having fun in the style of Robert Crumb. I think the decency filter will filter out any of the worst of Robert Crumb's influences on the output. By worst, I mean least family friendly. Never mind caramelized cashew nuts with sesame seed. This thing is addictive. You can't stop eating. I'm addicted to DALL-E. So that one's loading. These ones are both loading. So you're up next with these Stinky Goblins. You do Sans Thesis returns to the group. That one's I'll keep it. Stream. I'll put trusted. Stream moderator returns to Twitch chat. Trusted and beloved. Stream moderator returns to Twitch chat. So that'll be one of our next searches. GA, here's your empty room. I think I mean, you got what you asked for here. Impressive that it's calculating RTX reflections here. We've got a nice skylight. They've opted for skylighting, but all words accounted for. The white lighting is soft. It's a large empty space that's otherwise dark. Success. This is some good soft white lights, I agree. And this is some good large empty spaces. Then we have to I want to iterate on this one too though. How do you spell psychedelic? Psychedelic, colorful, psychedelic strawberry. In large empty space with soft light. We're going to rerun that one. That's not very vaporwave. Let's check out these cursed tacos though. What's going on here? What are these ingredients? We need to enhance. So Taco Bell gourmet food photograph in the style of synthwave, maybe better understood. I don't think you want these tacos. I don't think you want these tacos. Middle bottom is hilarious. Meat going up both sides of the shell. Yeah, the shell is part of the meat is part of the shell. Here, we'll save it just for completeness before we modify. These show Sans the set of rainbow cats, but those photos aren't edited yet. I can try to show. Rainbow? These ones? Rainbow cats. We were trying to get detailed illustration of Albert Einstein as a cat, but we did several attempts. A couple cool cats in here. Not very Einstein. I am still accepting new prompts all day. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Top left on the cats one? Blue cat? Pretty good. Alien tasty food. Top right on the tacos was all sour cream. I'm gonna post all of these on Discord so we can review them later at our leisure. It's just utterly I could stare at all of these for a long time. Because it's just so fascinating conceptually what's happening here. Alright. Too much traffic! Bullshit. And too much traffic? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we hitting the brick? I'm accepting prompts, but DALL-E might not be. We're trying it. It looks like almost like someone could do it with colored pencils. You like middle right, cat? Oh, where's my folder of cats? I closed it. These were our other attempts at Einstein cat. Middle right cat? Yeah, I like this one. I like the little blue underlighting. I like the expression of the middle cat, though. I like his attitude the most. Colored pencil seems to be a good medium for cat, I guess because the fur. You can, like, make strokes in the same direction as the fur. Alright, these guys are both running. No whammy. Alright, so the next prompt will be, what was it? Alien tasty food. Where's my taskbar at the top? Because I like it there. Windows 11 removes that option. You want your taskbar at the top? Sorry. You can have the bottom or the bottom. Oh, I forgot the Stinky Goblins. That's right. So I got 2. I got Stinky Goblins. Oh, I got 3. I wanted to do Trusted and Beloved Stream Moderator returns to Twitch chat. Let me capture Alien tasty food. And I'm gonna embellish your prompt a little bit because again, more specificity is better. So I'm gonna do 35mm photo of delicious. It's crazy you can use words like delicious to describe the type of image you want. Especially when you're talking about alien food. Delicious alien food. Close up. Close up. 35mm photo of delicious alien food. Alien meal? Alien. We'll start with food. Keep it simple. Product shot also very good. Good. You can, dude, any like adjective or descriptor like product shot or double exposure or anything. You just whatever you can describe, it'll interpret and give you something. So this is my colorful psychedelic strawberry. Not very psychedelic though. And we're not getting that large space anymore. It's focusing on the strawberry. So this is like, you know, when I tried to make the prompt more specific and I didn't quite get the results I wanted. So it is what it is. It's just so fun to play with this thing. All right, we're doing these in order. Stinky Goblins, having fun in style of Robert Crumb. Having fun. Roll the dice. Go check out our other image. Oh, here we go, Sans. Here we go. Here's what you're looking for. Taco Bell gourmet food photograph in the style of synthwave. Whoa, look at the last one. It's the actual Taco Bell venue with the horizontal striped sun. Dude, I don't want that taco though. These are pretty good. I would eat some of these tacos. Look at this one with the purple neon reflecting in the shell. I like that. These are some pretty good tacos. Capture that. Let's imagine it's like, you know, you're a graphic designer and you get a contract. They're like, hey, can you give me like 9 concepts? I'm thinking this concept of like tacos in a sort of a vaporwave space. Can you like work up a few mock-ups for me? And you're like, sure. Click. It's like, what about these mock-ups? I worked for hours on each of these. Was really careful with the composition and color choice. So I billed you for like 40 hours for producing these mock-ups. And if you want me to develop one further, just let me know. Or I could produce some more mock-ups. It'll be another 40 hours worth of billing. I'll generate 9 more variants, if you will. It's not going to, I think, you know, this is going to impact jobs, but I think it's the idea is that if you're a graphic designer, don't let this AI take your job. Incorporate this type of AI into your workflow. Acknowledge that this is the new reality. Excuse me. And just try to integrate the use of this type of AI into your creative process. You know, you're still the one making good decisions and has good aesthetic sense or whatever, but it's a fucking brave new world out there, man. Crazy. All right, now we get to the return of Sans. Dude, I like the moodiness of the lighting on this taco. It's all dark at the bottom. So moody. The ambient occlusion on this taco is so good. Dude, Taco Bell's got such good ambient occlusion. Trusted and beloved moderator returns to Twitch chat. There's a lot open to interpretation in the language I've used. It's a lot of vagueness. It's not very precise language I'm using, but let's see how it understands this. Go back to our other window. All right, here's your stinky goblins, Kyle. Now look at this guy. What the fuck, this guy? This guy's amazing. Look at that face. It's so stinky. The Robert Crumb style, I see a lot of the parallel line cross-hatching that he does. These first 2 goblins are pretty stinky. It's struggling with goblins, I think, like. You got the sage, yeah. Do you want to try a modifier? Do it further refine? I could do illustration of 3 having fun in a pub, comma, in the style of Robert Crumb. Let me save this one though. The face on this one is so good and so expressive. I gotta screen cap these before they're gone forever. But yeah, the shading, like at a distance, especially when I don't zoom in, you could believe that these are Robert Crumb drawings. The face on that bottom left one's so good. Roll the dice there. Going. Both going. So the other thing I can do meanwhile, go back to DALL-E Gallery. We'll take a closer look at some of these while they process. So these are previews of what DALL-E 2 can do, the future one. We'll take a closer look. Gorgeous jewelry design, a chunky gold tiara made of zodiac symbols. Studio flash photography. It's like, what? It looks so convincing. This is an object that doesn't exist. It's like we're looking at a photo of it. Macro photograph of ornate glass paperweight with a fiery asteroid suspended inside, luxury handcrafted glassware. Like all of these sort of descriptors influence the output somehow. Crazy ways. Brad. Stylish product photography of an Art Deco toaster with ornate black and gold detailing. High quality image from ad campaign. So it's like just specifying high quality image. It's like, of course you want a high quality image, right? But that's not assumed by the AI. The AI might think like, oh, maybe they don't know that you want a high quality image. Maybe you want an illustration. Maybe you want a sketch. Maybe you want whatever. But just using such basic descriptors like, I want this to be high quality. I want a good quality picture. You don't have to describe it's like, I want a good quality magazine style awesome photo. And that just saying awesome or better or high quality just makes it better. It's crazy. Oh man. Oh, we got more prompts incoming? Okay. Capture the cartoon strawberry. I could open up a third window. I don't know if they're gonna ban me. Make me a really good ad for tacos. I don't think they need the make me part. No, but you can do award-winning magazine advertisement for tacos. Or magazine advertisement, magazine ad for tacos, award-winning advertising campaign. Then I've seen like people input prompts where they list the marketing firm, like, oh, advertising campaign by Lumiere, or like, you know, if you happen to know like branding firms, you can like make it in the style, you know, photograph in the style of Anne Leibovitz. So sorry I'm taking some liberties with your prompt, but I think it'll make for better output. All right, let's see, do we have results? We got results. Well, this is the detailed Robert Crumb illustration. It is more detailed. I mean, there's just like lots of more fine detail. It doesn't like goblins, or it doesn't understand stinky goblins too well. But they're having fun, I guess, and they're in a pub. They're definitely in a pub. And the Robert Crumb is like, there's a little bit of the comic strip panels represented here, the two boxes. Little speech bubbles, you know, so it's capturing a little bit of that. Pretty cool. Leave that for later. All right, so now I can load in one of these new ones. So we're doing in order received, and I've saved all. I'm saving screenshots of all these, so I'm gonna post them after I crop them and stuff on Discord. So next we're going close up. It says Dropkick Murphys. Close up 35mm photo of delicious alien food. So when I crop these, I'll keep the text prompt. I'll keep the text prompt in the image so that you can remember what text prompt we used when invoking these images. I really want a shitty drawing of a horse. I'm curious because if I put in that I really want, I think it might draw the person who really wants it or something. You know, I wonder how it responds to sayings like I really want. right? You know, if you're like talking to it. All right, this one's generating. This one didn't turn out not as expected. Pretty good capturing the Twitch logo. Trusted and beloved stream moderator returns to Twitch chat. This is for you, Sans. Action photo of a pearlescent bowling ball. You're having PC troubles? I'm sorry to hear that. Liz. I'm gonna throw one of your jokes in there. Kyle. So next up on this one is cartoon strawberry with legs walking on path towards. I like the creativity in your prompt here, GA. Walking towards a black hole. Walking on a path towards a black hole in colored pencil. Too much traffic, try again. Too much traffic, try again. Too much traffic. There we go, 4th time's the charm. Neff, are you here for your alien food? You like how DALL-E can't decide how many eyes the Twitch logo should have. This one's good in the corner here. Look at this close-up photo of this alien food. It's like an alien egg. An alien fruit or a nut, alien pie. Alien sweet roll. More alien fruits. I bet this is pretty good. I want to try it not so close up. So I'll capture this. Let me capture it first. Hey, Tommy. Capture. Run. Tommy. Elmers. Hey, Tommy. Come here. Trypophobia? What is trypophobia? Cookies with tryptophobia. Avocado egg. So both of these are going. We'll get ready for the next one. Tommy, everyone's saying hi and that they love you. Tommy's responding with kisses. Kisses for everyone. Fear of holes in objects. GA. The black hole wasn't represented here. There's a little bit of a black hole. Here's a black hole. These are a little bit cursed. Let's see if we can't massage this one. So I think we can skip with legs because it's got to walk with legs probably. I think it knows. On a path. I probably should have put, no. I'm gonna change up the style though. I'm gonna do detailed 3D rendering. Wide shot of cartoon strawberry walking on a path towards a giant or cosmic black hole. Detailed 3D rendering. Try that one. Too much traffic? How about now? And now? And how about now? 4 times the charm. Oh, so this is a little bit further zoomed out, Neff. And it's funny, it's colored like food photography photos. If you ever look like a gourmet, or the colors are kind of boosted. Look, this one has the food is shaped like an alien. It's got alien eyes. It's like it's turning the food into little like alien faces. This is like an alien's finger. We're eating aliens now. Getting a little creepy. Alien body cookies. But at the same time, the food stuff looks like food, but it also looks strangely unfamiliar, right? Pretty good prompt. Save that one. Xeno food. Alright, we got a few more to get through. Bougie. This is the photography style. It's like from a gourmet food magazine. Colorful magazine ad for tacos. Can I spell? Award-winning advertising campaign. Oh, here we go, GA. We've got some long music. It's not in a colored pencil style, but I think this is closer to what you were looking for. Look at that cosmic black hole. The cosmic helps so much with all these colors and the vibes. This is pretty good. Learning how to ask an AI for what you want. All right, we're gonna try Kyle's joke. I don't know if I'm gonna get busted for using the word shitty. Let's find out. I want a really shitty drawing of a horse. Too much traffic? Nah. Nah. Third time. I'm excited for that one. Like something you would paint at a wine bar. The group would paint at a wine bar. Alright, we were looking at some of this stuff while we wait. I would use this toaster. Very nice looking toaster. Coat hooks in the shape of octopus tentacles. Fun product photography. So you can just say fun. I want this photo to look fun. Fun product photography from Interior Design magazine. I guess there's like certain styles of photography typical to those types of magazines. Look at these products that the AI just invented for you. You can take these to Shark Tank. Like, this is my original creation. This is my OC. Yeah, I captured all those strawberries. All right, Sans, here's your award-winning taco. I don't know. Maybe I didn't ask it correctly. These don't look award-winning. They're not bad. I put colorful. I think colorful. I'm gonna do upscale magazine ad for gourmet tacos. Um, 35mm photography. Award-winning advertising campaign. Top right looks pretty tasty. I'll save it for you so you can snack on it later tonight. Do you really think it looks tasty? You gonna eat that? You wanna eat that? Looks like that wants to eat you. I invented hooks. All right, we'll run it with the modified. This is like the fun part is like tweaking the results. Iterating is so fun. All right, Kyle, are you still here? Here's your drawing of a really shitty drawing of a horse. I would say that's a fail because these are all actually pretty good drawings, except for I feel bad for the amputee horse here. These are all like, dude, I couldn't draw a horse this anatomically correct if I'd spent an hour on it. I mean, he's missing his horse cock, but you know what I mean. Correct. Oops. What happened? Does this one have horse cock? Kinda. Not exactly. He's got a why the long face though? DALL-E's shitty is way better than my best. It's true. I mean, DALL-E's like, this is when I'm not even trying. Here's what you get. I think that these bottom two, Kyle, are your best shitty options. This one's a little too good, but really shitty body work. And this one is just beginnings of a sketch, though reasonable sketch, I think. Song's good. Reminds me of Basement Jacks. Wait, print screen? Okay. Action photo of a pearlescent bowling ball. Bowling ball. I'm gonna add detailed sports photography. Try to get like a, you know, to help with that action shot, more specifically what we're looking for, I think. Run. Run. Ooh, here we go. Look at these more photorealistic tacos, not tacos. I think DALL-E 2 is better at the more esoteric stuff, like award-winning advertising campaign, because I was watching some videos where it played nice. This looks like a fancy style advertising photo. It's so crude, though. The composition of this photo, this seems like fancy salsa. That's a lot of tacos. Lime. This one's sort of a nice ad composition, the split. They are actually, this is sort of a decent look. Save these. Right, it doesn't know what your shitty is. But you can say, and I think also like vulgarities, I think it's designed to ignore. Like I say, crude, poor quality drawing of a horse by a failed aspiring artist. Who created this? A failed aspiring artist. So come up with what that is, DALL-E, and then give me the corresponding art. You could do a child drawing does work. But I didn't want to use child drawing because I want to see a shitty, but not. It's not shitty because it's a child drawing. It's just this guy's got no talent. That's what we're going for. Oh, Sans, here's your pearlescent action photos of bowling. Pearlescent, did you want a specific color? I was thinking it was going to be a white pearlescent ball, but I guess pearlescent's just that iridescent style. Look at the action on this one, though. It's so dynamic. This guy is like in front of the bowling ball for whatever reason. I like it. I like the action. They got a little depth of field. I think, but these are. I need these to be photos and not. They're illustrated, so it doesn't look right. So we're gonna iterate on this one. I'm gonna say hyper detailed. Hyper detailed. Action shot. Sans, this is your pearlescent ball. Is there? Were you looking for a particular color for your bowling ball? Nice bokeh, nice action. Look at the energy on this guy. I like that energy. We're gonna do pink. Pearlescent pink bowling ball. Roll the dice. Both still working. We looked at some of these earlier. Abstract public art of curved steel rods spiraling upwards, glinting in sunlight in a small plaza in Madrid. Gorgeous travel photography. So I think that kind of stuff like influences the angle that the photo is taken at, you know, how it's framed. Gorgeous travel photography. So interesting prompt. I designed this cool art sculpture. Check it out. No one's built it yet, but it's gonna look like this. Dude, these are certainly not crude and poor quality. DALL-E, why don't you understand what I'm asking you for? It's like you're not even listening, DALL-E. I want a crude, poor quality drawing of horrors by fail artists. By a young child. I need that bad art. Oh yeah, I like your. Let's do the high fashion Godzilla. Wait, this isn't an action photo. These are good pearlescent bowling balls, but somehow I have to do wide action shot. I had detail there twice, and that might have messed things up. Some cool looking balls though. Run that again. We'll wait for these, and then I'll put in your next one. Wide peepo shot. All right. Too much traffic. Try again. I'm probably gonna try to wrap up the stream pretty soon. This was an unscheduled stream. I'm just so excited about this stuff. I wanted to share with you. Plus, I will not be around on Thursday because I'll be traveling. I'm gonna be out of pocket for I'm gonna miss 3 streams because of my vacation. I'm squeezing in an extra one now. But I got GA's prompt. If you guys got one more prompt, want me to try, let me know. Kyle, here are the crudest horses, but I dare say even these are very good. Look at this one. This kid's Picasso over here. This is like advanced abstract horse design. This one's kind of shitty. This one's kind of shitty, but it's still not shitty. This one's kind of shitty. I'd say this is the shittiest one. Not, I mean, I can barely tell it's a horse. Capture those. But we got to a sort of shitty horse. Yeah, that last one's amazing. Hang that on my wall. These are, it's still not giving me that full shot, but these are pretty good in terms of their level of detail. Kyle, how many holes does a bowling ball have? This many. This is what a typical bowling ball's hole layout. This one's got holes all over the place. They're pretty good. Again, the more specificity, the better you get. I was hoping I didn't really capture the wide shot I was going for, but all right. So screenshot of these. All right. So final prompts. We're doing 2 final prompts, GA's, and then mine, and then Sans's. So, detailed. A photo. Godzilla with a huge, happy smile in high fashion style. Roll the dice. Roll them again. And roll them again. Okay, that one's going. And then for the Sans prompt. Retro-futuristic. What even is retrofuturism? Spaceships approaching. Oh, it's not recognized as a real word. It's 2 words. Right, we're gonna keep it as 1 word. Dolly's gonna have to figure it out. A golden asteroid belt. Bellot. Dude, I can't wait to get access to the DALL-E 2. It's like this stuff is so amazing, but it's just like a tiny fraction of what the capability of the version 2. It's insane. Oh, I'm just getting consistent denials here. Have I overstayed my welcome? Getting a lot of rejects. Too much traffic. There we go. All right, it's becoming. I think it's not happy with the traffic I'm consuming, so probably a good indicator to try to wrap up pretty soon. But let's see what the output is on these. Do a little bit more of intermission time. Sans, did you see these? What I showed earlier? I think you were on their way to the airport, but. Aged bronze statue of a remote worker on a laptop. Shiny patches on face in a London park on a sunny day. It's just so exquisitely detailed. Then Goku over here. Greek god Goku. You can also do these landscaping shots. So Kyle, you were asking about generating spaces. This is one where I saw they were using like award-winning. Stunning photograph from Landscaping magazine. High quality, award-winning landscape design. Like, what type of landscape would you like to see? Oh, can you give me the award-winning kind? Design an award-winning one for me, please. Thank you. Well, Godzilla might be smiling, but his face is off. Off camera on most of these. Of Godzilla's face. It's gonna be just his face then. Smiling. I'm gonna try to make this work. Detailed aerial photo of Godzilla smiling while destroying downtown San Diego in high fashion style. I'm not going to save these. I mean, they're like whatever. They're not. I guess he's kind of smiling there. He's smiling a little bit, but these aren't winners. They're not keepers. So reship that one. Oh, Sans, look at this stuff. Whoa. Retrofuturistic spaceships approaching a golden asteroid belt. Probe launched. It's not exactly what you're looking for, but by golly, if these aren't evocative images. There's the asteroid belt, there's a golden planet, the misinterpretation. What is a retrofuturistic spaceship? I think that's where they end up not having so much detail because it doesn't quite know what that concept should be. So it gets a little muddier. I think the concepts it doesn't understand so well end up being more like pixel soup, right? Whereas the concepts it understands better are rendered more in focus. These are pretty cool though. Just aesthetically. We capture that. Oops. Spam that print screen. All right, and let's see what happens here. Hold on a second. All right, we've got Godzilla round 2. He's destroying San Diego. He's kind of smiling. He looks very cursed. He's really happy in this one. He's cursed though. Kind of happy there. Little bit nightmare fuel. A little bit nightmare fuel though. You want me to save these for you? All right. And we can go to, I mean, I could do this forever. It's just so fun. In cute, chibi art style. You like the second and last one very much? All right, I have saved them all. They're all saved, but like I'm screen capturing 2 screens, so I'm gonna have to crop. Oops, what happened there? Didn't mean to do that. Still ready? They're all like they're all like this, where I have 2 of them. I'm gonna have to crop all of these. So it'll take some time, but I'll get them all up on Discord so we can gawk at them later when we feel up to it. Let's see what happens. We'll finish out with this last rendering. See how it turns out. But this was fun. Hopefully you guys had fun checking out state of technology, state of AI, and let your minds race and wonder at what it's going to mean for the future of society and work and art, jobs and design. Like in the future, can I be like, DALL-E, please make me a video game in the style of Bloodborne 2 with good graphics and starring Shrek? Like, because like the AI can already code web pages. You say, hi, I want a web page with a search bar right here, 2 buttons to the left, and you can just describe it in English. It can encode the web page. You can imagine a future where it can just code the entire game. In theory. Now, I don't even know if this is still loading because I went forward and I went back. This one may never resolve, I'm afraid. Try to run it again in the background. AI can code Pac-Man by just watching footage of it, which is insane on its face. And that was like years ago, several years ago now. I'm getting denied on my attempts. Maybe they're finally on to me. Using too much of their server resources. Jay, I'm gonna ask you to, you have to point out the one doing big and after I post them all, because I'm not gonna remember yet. It's going through. Oh, here we go. Here's Chibi Godzilla, kind of. A little bit chibi. Well, but I put Chibi Godzilla, but I put detailed aerial photos, so it's kind of trying to do both. I like this one over here, though. This guy's cool. This one's cursed. This one I like the city art in this one over here. All right, so let's capture this. And this one's running on the same prompt, so this will be. We'll let this one finish. They are all cursed a little bit. They're less cursed with the new one, DALL-E 2. But this will be interesting to see how much range there is. So this is the exact same prompt, but a different set of 9. I like this guy. They're all cursed, I agree. Print screen, save that. To be uploaded later. Oh. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me on this little exploration of AI. I think we'll do it again sometime. I do plan to stream tomorrow, but I think I'm doing Cyberpunk. Try to get through that. We're getting close. I'll be really excited to do this again once if and when I get access to the new version of the software. It's going to be mind-blowing. But this is just a fun, different type of stream to do. It's fun to interact with you guys, come up with prompts, see what's on the cutting edge of this amazing technology that's going to become part of all of our lives, you know? But it looks like a t-shirt that someone would get at Hot Topic. I just designed I designed a new shirt for Hot Topic today. Pretty cool. Top seller. It's award-winning design. I designed an award-winning design. All right, you guys. Off to wind down for the evening for me, but hopefully I'll see you guys back here before too long. Until then, be safe, be kind to yourself and those around you, and have a good night. Bye now. Peace.
Thank you. So, who is ready to make some science?